Hope everyone does. Hi everyone. It's good morning, good evening, good afternoon. As I can see, people are joining around the globe. So after the nice sessions from Isabel and Rudolph, so it's great to have you guys on the call. So I'm Advait. Let me introduce myself quickly. I'm Advait. I'm basically from India. I'm working as a technology head for the quality practices, which one of the renowned organization in India, Pune. And mainly my career was into software development, software management, designing, architecture, and of course it's testing the quality aspects of software. So today I am going to connect you guys with one of the different topic, which is like name indicates dynamic dataset evaluation testing. So it's we know that the era is all about the emerging technologies. So when we talk about emerging technologies, like we think about artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, augmented reality, digital twins. There are a number of technology which are coming considering under the emerging technology segment. So if you have heard or you have worked little also in this technology, you can find that the fundamental of each of these technologies is mainly data and dataset. So, dynamic dataset evaluation testing, the topic is covering majorly for the machine learning models and the associated part of machine learning model. So, agenda for the day for this session. We'll start with the introduction to dynamic dataset evaluation testing. Then we'll go to the data sources, challenges in handling evolving dataset, importance of real-world scenarios, then adaptability, automation, security, use cases, and future trends, etc. So we'll move with the first slide. Introduction to dynamic dataset evaluation testing. We are starting with the definition. So dynamic dataset evaluation testing refers to a testing approach that focuses on the evaluating the robustness and performance of machine learning model as database evolve the time. Over the time, we know that like if you're using any AI enabled application in industry, in manufacturing industry, in e-commerce, in banking, wherever you're using that. So the data is the fundamental of that, and then not only data, but it's evolving data. It's constantly growing. It's coming in a different way, in coming in variability. So that is important part. So for your machine learning model, it is important to keep its performance, its precision, its accuracy, though whatever changes has been happen with the data set. That is, it's dynamic data set evaluation. So why it's important? What is the importance of it? With real world scenario, we can consider that data constantly changing. It is crucial to ensure that the ML models can adapt effectively without degradation in performance. Again, the same word, performance, precision, and accuracy. So that is important part for your machine learning model or your AI-enabled system, product, or application, whatever you are using. The main challenge behind this is like data itself. Like when we are addressing this challenge, when we are going for the evolving data set, we need to keep an eye on the each and every part of data, each and every property of data. So based on that, your machine learning model is going to understand the requirement, understand the you can say the learning model, like how to go with that, how to get into that particular data set, and how to handle it. Then the main objective again, it would be the same. Like our machine learning model should provide the proper solution and the proper activity and functionality associated with for which it is indicated. Key components of this is like mainly when we talk about machine learning, it's coming up with the training model. So that is one of the most important part of this dynamic dataset evaluation. Then when it's coming for the training part, the important part is technique and tools. See, we know that like we are developing one machine learning model, we are using it, now it's getting the data. So if we are going with the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning, or for that matter, semi-supervised learning. So in that case, what would happen? The important part here is like which technique, how you are going for that. And when it's coming for the dynamic dataset evaluation testing, what type of tools you are expecting, what type of functionality you are expecting, and output you are expecting from that. So these all should be considered in a way that it should cover that. The performance assessment should be happen for that most importantly, there should be alerts, there should be monitoring of that data, like what type of data has come, and on that particular data how your machine learning model has been acting. So that is important part. And benefits would be like it's long term benefits, like your machine learning is model is trying to learn again and again, and it would get as much as data it is getting, it is coming with the more intelligent model, or you can say the more the train model. So data sources, when we talking about this dynamic data sets, evolving data set. So we know that we're using chatbot, virtual assistant, traffic management systems there, healthcare system, etc. So autonomous vehicles are also there. So these systems are having huge data, rather than it's a large data. So the data is of different type. So based on that, these huge systems are with large data sets. So on this data set, your model should work properly without losing its performance, without losing its accuracy. And the most important part is whatever the analysis it will do, whatever the insights it will provide, based on that, the big strategies would be come into picture. So for that, when we're talking about this data set, we need to identify, these are a couple of areas which I have mentioned, but apart from that, there are different areas where we can get the huge data. And these data sources, what they are doing, like we know that when we are talking about the e-commerce, so in e-commerce part also, like daily it's happening, and based on that, this e-commerce companies and organizations are deciding their strategy, and they're providing the or promoting the different products. It may be occasional one, or it may be daily one. There are Saturday Sunday offers are there. So this is all about by identifying, by analyzing the data. So that insight, that analysis should be correct one, and based on that, the application should provide the correct information. And again, finally, the final output would be the great strategy for the purpose of which it has been intended to. So obviously, whatever would be there, there are always challenges. So when handling the evolving data set, there are different challenges, and by going through all these challenges one by one, will be step up and we'll go to the final product, which will be a well performed, well trained, and an intelligent product. So we can see the couple of challenges in this part, like a data consistency. So data consistency is, as data set evolve, maintaining the data consistency become a challenge. Changes in the data format, structure, or values can lead to inconsistencies that may impact the data analysis, that may impact the reporting, and that may impact the final decision making process. So data consistency is one of the important challenge, you can say, aspect of challenge, which we need to address while handling the evolving data set. Then data quality. Data quality is like data should be complete, correct? It should not be outdated. It should not be inaccurate. So once we can identify this part, we can test it on that part, the particular machine learning model. What we will get the correct data, correct analysis, and correct results. Then another is data volume and data velocity. You can say, as an example, we have seen on the last slide, there are huge data, there are large data. So this data is keep coming, and your system, your machine learning model is start learning and analyzing that data. So the volume of data and with which speed the data is coming, the velocity. So on the by considering both these two aspects, your machine learning model should understand, should analyze it, and should give you a precise report which will help us out to work properly or going further on that particular requirement. Excuse me. Then data integration, integrating evolving data sets from the multiple sources. Application, suppose a web application, and we have put the chatbot on that application, and we're accessing for some of my requirements. I'm putting my requirement, I'm adding some inputs, I'm giving input to it and asking my questions or queries. So when it's coming to, like in previous session, Rudolph said about the concurrency testing. So similarly here, like there is not a one person who is accessing that particular application. There are a number of people around the globe, they are using that application. Now it is coming with the huge data, and when it's coming with that, then the queries or the quest from each and everyone could be different or could be in a bulk. So I don't know how many of you have identified that nowadays when it's coming for the any chatbot application, what these people are doing, they are more or coming on the part of giving the option to the users. And because of that, what would happen is it's a two-way method. Like it's easy for them, for their application to perform very well. On other part, it's user friendly also, like not going into deep, just ask the proper question, just choose the option whatever you want, and based on that the results would come out accordingly. So data integration, like whatever question or whatever my query is there, I am asking, and for that requirement, if that particular chatbot or particular system is needed my past data, because when you are logged into the application, you are started chatting, suppose the name of that particular chatbot is ABC. ABC is saying, yes, hi, I'm ABC here, how can I help you? So you're putting like I'm facing some issue, then it's asked for, are you existing customer, are you new customer, like that thing. So it will be like, for that it may need, that particular system needs to call for some data or fetch some data from another system. So data integration to match with the current data and some data from different sources, if that particular application is fetching for the handling purpose at that time, yeah, data integration is one of the important part. Then obviously data security and data privacy. So data security and data privacy, we all know that the most important part, like it's connected with the many uh, you can say the many aspects of that particular data privacy and data security. I think we can talk on that with with a altogether new session also. Then data governance, there could be the person who has like or the rights who has governing the data, who is taking care of data life cycle, data stewardship with that particular authentication or authorization. So these are the couple of you can say challenges in handling the uh, evolving data set. Then again, versioning, scalability, performance, and data analysis insights. So by going one by one from all these challenges, we'll come to the last for the data analysis and insights. So your machine learning model is going through all this part. It is stand strong, whatever data is coming, and after that it's analyzing it and it's giving you the product. So it is important, you have to focus. Why? The one sentence behind it is, when any machine learning, any AI enabled product, system, or application we are using, it means that we are minimizing the human dependency, human intervention. So your product should be that much strong and that much data and any type of scenario or any type of condition. So scenarios, as I said, that the human intervention is going uh, uh, like minimizing the human intervention, human dependency on the reflects your application. That machine learning model reflects the user behavior, whatever data set would be there. So accordingly, your system, your model should work properly to get the to exactly mimic the user behavior, identifies the edge cases. As we know that when many of you are like fresher or maybe who all are started their career with the software testing, the initial initial part, like still we are using that boundary value analysis, equivalence partitioning. So there are a number of different principles we are using, identifying different edge cases, extreme cases, and based on that we do the software testing. So similarly, we need to cover that into real world scenarios also on that particular application where we are getting the evolving data sets. So validating system mitigates business risk. The business risk part is important, and it's again, it's specifically couple of things with the different part, because at time it's domain specific, we can say, from domain to domain or industry to industry. uh, like it's a privacy, different demographics are there, different geographics are there. There are a number of aspects for that matter. And finally, the most important, like we talk whenever we are taking any web application or any application for the testing purpose, user friendliness. So enhance user experience, that is utmost important for that part. So when this dynamic data set is keep evolving and is coming in a bulk or in huge volume, your model should consider that part, and it should be strong enough to identify with the real world scenarios also, and it should be fixed and firm on its performance and result giving accuracy. So now we have seen that, like, we have one model and we are getting that model in use. We are working with that model, and now our motto is to make that model, a quality product, right? So now that quality product is giving proper output, proper results, or you can say reports, insights, whatever. For that, we have developed one test plan, like how we have to go with that. So in that case, it should meet that requirement. This is not something like we got the one web application and we have started testing by checking the login, and then we are going into it, then we are checking for the UI, button is not working, cross is not working, etc. But the entire flow is coming in a way where we need to go with the data versioning, like data set, with which data set you have tested that, have you changed the data set, you have come with the different results at that time, how your model has worked, you are taking the permutation combination of data sets, how you have gone through that. So in test plan, when we are working on that part, we need to consider that, and accordingly we need to define our testing framework. Then schema evaluation, it may possible that your schema has been changed sometime, we are coming with the some enhancement in the application, some data is different, some schema is different, like we have added the fields. So at that time, if your system is that strong enough, it's considering those shocks, those strokes, at that time also we need to consider that part also. Data generation, obviously, it depends. See, it depends, like you are having test data already there, you have to create that, you are using Python libraries or any other libraries, other utilities to generate the data. Otherwise, your client, if it's okay with that, he can provide you the archive data, or data masking is there, whatever you want to do. So data generation, that is one of the important part. Then data validation, data has been generated or you got the data, but now it's important to get the data validation. Yes, whatever data I am taking for the testing purpose, that is correct. Otherwise, what would happen? uh, See, there is a general flow of our testing. One is a happy flow, one is which we are going with the anomalies, or we are considered as the negative testing part. So when we are going with the happy flow, we know that this data is there, and in the particular mobile number field or email field, that should be the format. But when there could be possibility of how the data would come and what are the values are coming, in that case, that would be one of the scenarios which we are considering. So dynamic data validation should happen, like every time. We don't need to go with that for to check the each and every data. Then obviously the other parts, like you can say the test orchestration is there, then you can say the reporting is there, deliverables are there. So these all are aspects we need to check to that particular model for the adaptability of testing framework, your testing framework, or whatever tool you are using, or whatever the entire architecture of your testing, it should meet, it should carry out that perfectly. Automation in dynamic dataset testing, yeah. So we can see automation is possible everywhere. We are already using, means I think who all are joined here, all the 17 people, they are like mostly into automation. So dynamic test scenario creation, adapt to test case execution, by analyzing the data, the changes, you can identify like what test cases have to run initially or on priority. Based on that, we can decide. Then automated regression testing with dynamic data. Initially, I think most of us are already doing that by taking the huge data in Excel, and then we keep our automation script running, get it into data-driven testing, and get the data fetch, and let your application come up with the results for that particular regression. So continuous monitoring and evolving data sets. So that is one of the different part we can say in traditional and specifically this dynamic dataset, evolving dataset testing. Continuous monitoring of evolving dataset. we need to keep an eye continuously. We need to get the logs of that. We need to come up with the details of log, like what type of data has come, how we have treated that, how your system has analyzed that, and based on the particular defined algorithm, has it proven, has it given the proper results. So that is important part. When this is a couple of areas where you can add the you can say automation practices for the dynamic data set testing. But at the same time, in other areas also, it depends again. Like in one of the case where we have implemented in our organization, what we used to do, we have put the email trigger. When this has been done, the particular details of that particular test run, we are directly sending it to client in the form of table as well as in the form of dashboard. So it would be easy for them to compare the last performance as well as the current existing performance of that particular model. Security implication. Here are two important parts of security implication. When you are testing your application, your model, it's developed and it's now for the testing purpose. So at the same time, when it's coming into real world, it's matched with the real world scenario, because we know that the data privacy is utmost important. Which data set evolve dynamically, there is a risk of exposing the sensitive or confidential information if proper data anonymization and the privacy measures not taken. Okay, so data privacy, that is important, and that we need to take care of always. The data integrity, we know that the access controls, in access controls and data integrity, like the particular data set having the particular access control with specific, you can say, the users, or you are having the encrypted users, you can modify the access of evolving data set. Who can control that, having the strict access on the particular mechanism or particular action associated with it. Then data leakage which is not at all accepted, because we need not to make that our test data also, as well as when it's coming into real world, no data should go, should be easily explore and should come out of that part, and it should not get miss from the processing. Why? Because our model is trying to understand each and everything. It's analyzing entire data, and based on that, we will get the insights. And obviously, we can take another session entirely for the security testing. Like we need to identify with the injections, noise, by making the noise in the data. So these are the aspects where we need to make sure that our application, our machine learning model is working properly, and it is giving that output which we are expecting. Use case and success stories. So two success stories from there. I have already worked on that part. Like Internet of Things, we know that IoT, with the help of IoT, we are using the smart home systems. We have used it for the large manufacturing unit, where we have put this IoT application. There were on each floor there were around 190 machines are there. With the help of these machines, machine unit are there, and they are working for the production of some product. So what we were doing, we were like analyzing with the help of IoT. We were getting constant data, like in specific, suppose in first floor, on first floor, in first shift, suppose the shift was from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. In that shift, how the system has worked, because it was running. After 2, it was stopped working, because it's a shift part. Like couple of machines are running in that part, that time, couple of machines were running on that time. So entirely we are getting that data, and based on that data, we are deciding like how to go with that. This strategy was help our client to make decision, like which machines are working properly. One thing. Another thing, he can decide, like for next 5 years or next 10 years, if I want to keep these machines. If particular machine on the floor second, so machine number is suppose 1A was giving some issue constantly. So based on that, what would happen, like he has decided, do he need to spend a money on the repairing of that particular machine. So data of that machine, it's constantly coming. So all the data from all the machines are coming, and based on that, decisions can be make, or decisions can be taken. Even in supply chain management also, the inventory can on the that particular you can say warehouse, and we can decide the data based on whatever the order was there, and how much amount of particular items or particular deliverables has gone. So based on that, your model has been established there and it is taking that data. So what happened like in last month, last 2 months, 6 months data, and it's analyzing and it's giving you the result. Similarly in the financial services also, we can see in couple of organization, I saw that like they are already using that, and their main concentration was the dynamic dataset evaluation testing, because it's constantly changing of the stock prices, currency rates, and economic indicators, and based on that they have made their decisions. Specifically, if we have to take one of the examples, it's uh, one company, they have prepared one software where they have done the predictive analysis of by analyzing the you can say the social media data. They analyze the data for that particular stock, you can say, or the particular currency, and based on that they're getting that data and they have analyzed that. Your machine learning model has analyzed that, and based on that they have decided like how to keep an eye for on this particular stock for the next, you can say, 4 years or 5 years. So it's a long term use. Then future trends, yeah, the future trends of we know that we are already into era of emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, and we are working on the machine learning, IoT. So it's coming for the like AI driven dynamic data generation testing, machine learning for the predictive analysis. We are using blockchain. So synthetic data generation we can do. AI can generate the synthetic data that simulates rare events or condition, enhancing the robustness of AI models. Then scenario-based testing will be easier with the help of this, you can say, the AI. Then immutable data records, blockchain can provide an immutable ledger for this data. Again, for the predictive analysis, like we can adapt to different practices or a different understanding of the data where we can parameterize it, and based on that we can get the flow or the pattern of that data. And when the pattern of data has come, we'll get the three patterns on the different time span, and based on that we can decide like how our model has respond to that, and based on that we will get the proper insights. So that's what will happen. Like based on that the pattern would come, your data is there. Now the large data set is there, and out of that large data set, if constantly we are getting different pattern or the group of patterns, based on that again your machine learning model should work properly to analyze that. And for that the dynamic dataset evaluation testing is mandatory and it's compulsory. So yeah, arigato gozaimasu for this session. If there are any question, let me know.
No, thank you.
I'm available on social media also, so you guys can join me.